Hey guys, welcome to the Collector RC. This is the Cuz, and we are going to do a quick review on the Gen 8. I'm going to go over a little review with you guys. So, first things first, my opinion when I first pulled it out the box was it's another REDCAT. It's got some more details to it that I do like that the Gen 7 did not have, but still REDCAT. So, not super high quality parts, lots of plastic where I wish there was metal. Quick update after driving it a little bit in my backyard rock park and testing it up against the same things I drive my TRX4 Sport with an axe system on. This thing did incredible. It took just about every line. I can tell that the major difference here is not necessarily the truck. The truck's chassis is very well built. What makes this a different kind of rig is just the size of the body. This is, I believe, 12.8 inch wheelbase, which is a little longer than your standard at 12.3, but it'll also go up over 13. It has an adjustable wheelbase that if you pop the body off, which by the way is a lot easier now than it was the first time. It shows in the original unboxing video, I was pretty sure I was breaking the car the first time I pulled this off because of these hook and loop Velcro strips on the top of the inner fender wells. When they're brand new, they were pressed on very tight. Man, it's gotten a lot easier, but I was immediately thinking about swapping that out to the magnet system. But now that I've used it and worked it a couple times, it actually comes off really easy and still holds nice and firm when I'm wheeling. I've definitely rolled it a few times. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but I've got some good scratches across the top, the hood, and a real good deep one across the door from scraping it along rocks. And that's the difference I'm noticing. It's not that the car is any less capable when it comes to driving. It's that the body's so stinking big, it doesn't fit around a lot of the rocks without brushing up against them and scrubbing across them. So I'm fine with it. I want to make this look good as long as possible, but there's definitely a reality here of this thing is going to get pretty scratched up with this body if I try to do any rock crawling or four-wheeling like that with it. The whole point of the rig is to kind of be a counterpart to my TRX4 Sport, which I've set up for just strictly rock crawling. Trying to make as good at that as possible. I've got weighted Hyrax beat locks wheels for my TRX4. They're off now because I did try them on this already. It wheels a little bit better with them. I like them. But I've already put a few different sets of wheels on this. And what I've come to realize is the factory set is just big enough and wide enough. Although I am ordering some Pro-Line tires and some axle extensions to get these this stance widened out just a little bit. Try to have the tires rub into stuff a little bit more than the body rub into stuff, and I want to make it look kind of beefy. The whole point of the build, like I was saying, to be the counterpart to my TRX is to have a lot more scale stuff on this build. Have something fun to look at, not just something fun to drive. I do enjoy my TRX4 Sport quite a bit, but the reality is that it's not really that fantastic to look at. I just have some bead locks on here now just because I was tired of moving them all over the place, so I put them on the car. They're going to replace these ones in the future that are on the Hyrax. But as good as this car is, it just doesn't look that great. And there's actually a lot of hate for the TRX4 Sports. Not sure why, but I find a lot of naysayers about this truck specifically. I think it's people hating on a truck that's kind of a little expensive to purchase, but you get a really, really, really capable rig right out the box. I think that's why people are upset. It's just so good out the box. I honestly don't see a problem. But anyway, because that truck is so no frills and everything put on that truck is specifically for the purpose of getting better at wheeling and making it over more terrain, wanted to kind of go the opposite with this. Add a roof rack. Do the halo bucket headlights. Have some LEDs in the bumper. I would love to do some rock lights because it does have those inner fender flares. I don't have those on my TRX4 Sport, so as much as I want rock lights on that thing, I don't want to add any more electronics or inner fender wells to it. On this one, I can do that. So we'll do rock lights. I'm going to do a light bar most likely on the roof rack. I'm going to get a winch for it. Do the halo conversion headlights like the Collector has in his 10.3 Jeep. I'm going to do those same headlights in this. And I'm also going to do some LEDs in the bumpers. This REDCAT does sell a wiring light system for this truck specifically. It will fill all of the light buckets, 2 rears, 2 reds for the rear brake lights, 4 headlights. So there's 2 headlight inserts in each headlight bucket, and then 2 more white lights for the front bumper. And the wire links are cut perfectly. It's really built exactly for this truck. The only problem is they break very quickly. The lights burn out really quickly, and I'm not interested in putting something in there that's going to turn around and burn out like that. So do my own, maybe a little bit of that kit, and splice it into something else to get some taillights and some bumper lights out of it. But I'm definitely going to swap out and do the halo headlights, rock lights like I said, light bar on the roof rack, lights in the rear bumper, as well as taillights. And I want this all to function. So with any luck at all, I'll have functioning taillights when I hit the brakes or when I stop, and those will turn on and on. And yeah, so that's the goal with the truck. REDCAT did send some cool stuff with this. So for instance, this little guy here, which I tried my best to figure out what it was without looking at the instructions, and I couldn't figure it out. So what I learned through the instruction manual is that this actually fits in the chassis inside the body. You drill a hole right below the keyhole above the license plate. I think it was 12 millimeter hole, and there's a receiver inside for this hitch mount. And now what you have is a factory spare tire carrier. So the car didn't come with a 5th tire and wheel, so it wouldn't match. You'd have to buy one, of course. But I thought that was really cool. They included that. They've got a whole set of body posts. So if you want to get rid of the Velcro and you don't want to do the magnets, you can do body posts. Long ones for the rear, short ones for the front. And this cool little X bar here, which will go between the tall ones to stiffen it up. And caps to set all the mounts in the body, as well as a full hardware kit to screw it in. And on the other side, a full hardware kit for that light kit if you wanted to buy it. They send the plastic buckets to secure the LEDs with the car from the factory. So even if you don't go with that kit, you've still got all the hardware assemblies you need to get lights to fit correctly inside of this. I thought that was pretty cool, as well as your normal binding plug. It also comes in the booklet with a manual for the ESC and motor specifically. So if you're curious about that, if you wanted to nerd out on the details a little bit, this car does come 2 or 3 cell LiPo, or it can run NIM. It's a 1/10 crawler. It's got a 550 motor, 12 turn it looks like, and it's got an internal BEC in the REDCAT ESC in the car. It's got an internal 6-volt BEC, so that will definitely help when it comes to running a winch, running lights. If I'm going to daisy chain any of that stuff off the factory ESC and off the factory receiver, that internal BEC should help keep lights from dimming and stuff as I apply brake and apply power. But all the specifics do come on their own little worksheet from them about the ESC and motor, as well as a full manual, which it's just another manual. But with a truck like this, where I was going for some kind of a scale look, and I wanted my decaling to be scale, this book actually comes with a sticker placement guide on the very last page. So shows you all the different options. The sticker kit that comes with this car does have, you can see there's open spots here from the ones I've already pulled and put on the car, lower, middle, and then the hood stripes, as well as this guy on the back. And I had to redo this Scout logo. They did send me another one on here because the factory one was crooked. So those are the stickers I pulled, but as you can see, you could replace this midline sticker with this guy here that's got a diamond plate look. It says Gen 8 on the back. So they give you a few other options on the sticker kit of different ways to set it up. I have to admit, I watched RC Girl's review on this truck. Her personal vinyl sticker kit is really, really cool. And once I saw that, I figured unless I was going to try that hard and get those vinyl stickers, I'm not going to go for that look because there's no way I'm going to pull it off as good as she did. Hers looks fantastic. So after seeing her video also, I learned that I'm not a huge fan of the 3D printed racks, the roof racks that will come with this car. They seem very small, very thin, and I'd like something a little bit more stout that's probably not going to break, because I already know from test driving this thing in my backyard, this will roll over quite a few times in its life, and it already has. So a heavier duty roof rack to kind of help keep the body a little protected I prefer, but she did have a ladder that she got. I can't remember, it was off somebody's Etsy store possibly. I'll have to watch her video again, but look up RC Girl Gen 8 review. It'll have all the answers there. But the ladder that she had on there I thought was really, really cool. And then I already ran to the hardware store and bought it because she came up with another idea. I've been going through all different kinds of bead locks, wheels that I have on my bench, tires that I have on my bench. The bead locks that are on my TRX4 were originally going to go on this. I've been messing around trying to figure out what kind of wheels and tires I want. Well, I found the Proline tires that I want. They're on the way. But I still haven't figured out bead locks. Well, after watching hers, I'm not a huge fan of chrome. Just about everything I've got that has chrome on it, I black it out, I delete it. One of the two. Should just painted her wheels black with matte black paint. It's a pretty good idea. And I've painted a ton of stuff on my RCs already, so it's really not that big of a project. But one thing she didn't do is she didn't paint the outer ring to give it contrast. So I think to try to be a little bit different and then still throw homage to her idea, I'm going to sand these guys down with a Scotch-Brite pad after taking them apart, and I'm going to paint the wheels and the outer rings in flat matte black. I think that'll really help tie it in with the mirrors. Those are flat black, the fender guards, and the rock sliders. Everything's the same kind of crinkled look, flat black. So I think I'm going to do that. Other stuff that I've gone over since I started driving it, I've learned that the extendable wheelbase is going to be a huge thing for me. I'm not sure if you guys can tell with it sitting on the cradle on the bench, but remove that cradle, get it set down where it needs to be. In my opinion, this axle is not centered up in this wheel well. It's forward. And the reality is, if you look at this truck in real life, it actually mimics that. It actually kind of looks exactly that way. There's a little bit of unbalanced symmetry from front to back on the design of the truck. There's nothing wrong with it, but when you'll really notice is when you are climbing and your back end falls away, your rear axle falls away as it really lifts, it really starts to look like it's actually really coming up close to the front of the fender well. There's nothing wrong with it. It performs perfectly fine. It doesn't even actually rut. But for my personal preference and my OCD, I am going to use that feature of lengthening the truck's wheelbase, and I am going to bring it back 1 or 2 settings to try to center this wheel lug up in the center of the axle. And I think that's also going to help when I get those Proline tires on here, because they're going to be a little bigger. I want to make sure they're centered up in the wheel well when I do that. So I am open to suggestions. If you guys have any ideas, or you probably know a whole bunch more than I do about this truck so far, considering how long it's been on the market. I know I'm late to the game on it, but this is going to fit my need for a scale truck that I can put stuff on that's going to make it look a lot more scale, drive it scale, instead of just launching it over things like I do with my TRX when I can't make it. I just turn that obstacle into a jump. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff with this. I want to make it keep it nice. So if you guys have any suggestions on design or any parts that you think should probably go on it, or something that you've seen that you think I need to be aware of because it's just super cool stuff, please, down in the comment section, let me know. Also, what do you guys think? Do I made the right choice? My favorite color is green. The other color this comes in is purple. Both are bright, very bright. But green being my favorite color, I had to go that route. I'm not a huge fan of these stickers. I tried to pick the best ones I could off the sticker kit that would fit my look and what I want. Most of these white stickers are probably going to come off the truck, and I'm probably going to look for a black sticker set. Probably a different design, but I really prefer the retro sticker look. I just don't think it was pulled off very well, and that could be my sticker placement. That could be how poorly I put them on, possibly, but if it's not going to look 100% correct to what it did from the factory when it came out with its white opposing color pick, then I don't want to do it. I'd rather just go off and do something on my own that's my own choice, not trying to act like it's mimicking factory decaling. So basically, unless it's factory, I don't want to do it. Or I want to go off the rails the other way, make it look like my own, a lot like RC Girls, where the whole side is basically like a Pacific Northwest evergreen tree silhouette forest, and man, perfect. Looks awesome. Now I can't do it because she did, and hers looks really cool, so I don't want to copy it. I got to find my own idea, but maybe you guys can help. So that's one thing I'd love help on. Help me figure out how to sticker this thing up, design it up, paint it up, while keeping the green, because I'm going to keep the green. So maybe a black roof, maybe a white roof, eggshell, who knows. Even been looking at crinkle paints and wrinkle paints when they dry to see what kind of finish that might give to something that's this smooth, where from the factory this would have been more of like a fiberglass top when it was removable. Therefore, it would have had like a wrinkle finish to it, kind of like a Jeep top. So, all ideas I'm kicking around, but I wanted to bring this to the table, show you guys what I'm working on, and yeah, if you guys got any suggestions or ideas, let's hear them. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye from the Collector RC, guys. Have a great day.